Okay, there we go. The volume was not on. Um, so I'm assuming no one heard what I was saying. We're gonna do the review over this case with this little news anchor, this little hottie. I remember seeing her back in the day on the news and stuff, so it caught my attention. Definitely smashed. You heard? And then about this murder that happened in Alton. Review and react for educational purposes and all that stuff. This case tonight. This is Late Night Shenanigans with your boy, yes sir. Let me see. Oh yeah, we back in action. Oh yeah, but she looking good in that dress, y'all. Look at her with that little dog. What your ass done got into. Alright, we're gonna get this started.
It appears she really worked her way up through places like Rochester, Minnesota, Missoula, Montana, Oklahoma. The face and voice that viewers trusted, but now in a shocking turn of events, this former news anchor is now an accused murderer.
This morning at 7:51 hours, officers responded to a stabbing call in the 1500 block of East Crowley.
She allegedly stabbed to death the person you might least expect, and police say she stabbed that victim multiple times. However, there appears to be a defense that she's going with. What she is saying her side of the story is to this horrific crime. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart.
Yeah, she finally said, what the hell could have happened? From the looks of it, though, her mama looked kind of fine, too. I don't know, it had a blurry, but she looked like young, kind of look, try to blurry up. Maybe I'm tripping. I ain't really got too much, I ain't got good eyesight. But yeah, we finna see what the hell was the issue with this.
All right, guys, before we get into this shocking case we're following out of Wichita, Kansas, and we begin this episode of On the Case, I want to take a moment and talk about our partner and sponsor for this episode, a great app. It's called Upside. It gets you cash back when you buy daily essentials like gas and groceries. Now, Upside, it is free. It's easy to use. I actually used it a lot TC to get an extra 20. Someone who did pay her dues in the business. Her career started in November 2002. She was a sports reporter, started out at that small market station, tiny Lincoln, Nebraska, and it appears she really worked her way up through places like Rochester, Minnesota, Missoula, Montana, Oklahoma City, and then she made it to the biggest place she worked, St. Louis. She was a morning anchor in that city from March of 2011 through February of 2015. But in 2015, it appears she got out of the business and transitioned into software sales. Now, along the way, she did seem to have a ton of support from her family, especially her mom, a woman named Anita Avers. Avers worked as a clinical and family therapist in Wichita. Her biography reads that she specializes in treating adults experiencing depression, anxiety, spectrum disorders, trauma, and mood disorders, as well as relationship issues involving couples and marriages like family conflict, infidelity, and divorce. So she was a woman who really handled a lot of very serious issues involving mental health. And it also just appears that she was, at the end of the day, a proud mom of her.
What would make that?
40.
That. Let's say you never know. You never know. When it comes down to stuff like this, I want to know. Look at her looking like a little Britney Spears looking little. Look at that. Ooh, girl.
previous issues between each other. Now, we weren't able to find any previous criminal history for Mock.
Okay.
It seems that her record up until this point was relatively clean, but Mock now is currently being held on $1 million bond in the county jail in Kansas, and this case is now in the...
God damn, $1 million? Oh, yeah. I wonder why it's so, I don't want to say that, but like, $1 million, I know she killed her, or stabbed her mom, allegedly, or whatever case is. But it's got to be because of who she was for it to be $1 million bond. Because I know stuff happened, this is locally, but yeah, it got to be because of who she was to the public for it to be $1 million bond. Yeah. But, I don't blame it. I'm not arguing with the bond. If what happened, happened. You know what I'm saying?
Criminal justice system. So many people who watch Mock on TV, as you can imagine, they're reacting to the news in shock. Now, there is that big question of whether Mock murdered her mom with premeditation, which is what first-degree murder is in Kansas, or was this truly an act of self-defense? And in the word of dispatchers, is it something that Mock had to do to save herself? Joining us now.
What, from the looks, if that picture they showed us of her mother, which in some cases looks her deceiving, but by the look of it, and like as long as, like I said, I don't care if you're a child from all the way to a old elderly, if you got 2 hands and 2 feet, if you got a hand and a feet and a 1-2 to cause harm or try to, you will try to. Whether you're a girl, woman, man, you know what I'm saying? You never know where. You protect yourself at all times, for real. So like, what would make her, her mother, like, come to her where she would try to do that?
To talk more about this is retired NYPD Detective David Sarney. It's always great to have you on Law and Crime, especially when we break down some of these stories where, if you're an officer responding to this, you're just taking in a lot of information right out of the gate. Let's talk a little bit about, you get this call, you know that there was a stabbing of some kind. What's going on in the car as you're arriving on the scene, and what happens next?
Well, thank you for having me. What you're having is 911 gets called. 911 dispatcher will then send it over to the dispatcher. The 911 call center will call the dispatch. Dispatch then sends out the radio run to the officers on scene who are going there. They're going to be asking for further information if there's anything more that they have on this, weapons on scene, all this information, and hopefully that's been relayed from the 911 operator to dispatch, and then the officers get to scene. And
that's we giving us the procedure. I don't know what happens when the crime happens. I want to know, is this true or not, and why?
It's an active scene at this point because you're at least as best you can, and get and render aid as soon as possible to the victim at this time, and the other victim that you found out is going to be in the bedroom. So everyone is going to pretty much get EMS there as soon as possible. And if you can render aid immediately or some sort of aid yourself, you'll do that.
And I know in this case, excuse me.
With the Yukon acapella on there. Whoa! Hold up.
Excuse me, Angie Mock's mom, the victim in this story, she was rushed to the hospital. She had been stabbed multiple times. Okay. She's taken to the hospital. Sadly, she loses her life. From an investigative standpoint.
Okay, so she did lose her life. I don't know, I'm behind. I just had to make sure I just know it was a stabbing. Like I said, I'm just like catching up to this, and it's like she looks so familiar. I'm from St. Louis, so yes, I remember her on the news. So the mother passed away. They actually got there and was able to get her to the hospital where she went on, passed on. So that means, I wonder if she was still there. Let's see.
Point. I don't know if there's a right way to ask this question, but the fact that they have to move her from where she was on the bed, EMS, to try to get her to the hospital, is that a challenge for the investigation where you won't be able to see what position she was in other than it's been reported that she's been left in the bed?
Because she was in the
That's
bed.
where
She was in the bed. Lying in the bed. Maybe I'm adding that in. I haven't heard. I don't know for sure. I don't know. So was it an attack in the room? Or was she was...
interviews, when you do these investigative steps, you have so many people you're going to be interviewing, and one of them is going to be the officers on scene, the first responders. What did they see? Where was the mother in the bed, and how was she situated? Was she in bed like she was sleeping, or was she in bed as in that she fell into the bed? You know, if the officers have body cameras, that's also beneficial.
Okay. Can I get that question, that answer?
And that's what the detectives will figure out. And not only that, how were they injured? Who did it? Where's the weapon? And why did it happen?
Well, and let's talk a little bit about Angie Mock, this suspect, because it appears that she's going with self-defense argument, but she's also facing first-degree murder, which in Kansas would be premeditation. What kind of evidence might law enforcement have for within a couple of days to say that this is what we're going to be charging her with?
That's going to be the statements made by the defendant at this time prior to being arrested. When she spoke to the dispatcher, all of these pieces will come together in that puzzle. But that's why the officers can make the arrest. We arrest on probable cause, and the prosecutor then determines the fact whether or not those charges were either reduced or upgraded. And at this point, they've upgraded to murder one, presuming this is premeditated. Because now you have to realize the relation between the mother and daughter. Was the mother and daughter living together? These are things that come another part of that. So each piece of this comes in, and it's amazing the fact that they do murder one immediately. And usually there's I'm waiting, maybe there's going to be additional charges, or they may have a reduction in the charge from murder one to say manslaughter or murder two. So that.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a reduction. I mean, after they got, since they kind of like beating around the bush right now, we're not really going into nothing. Maybe I need to watch an updated video. I don't know. Have y'all heard anything else? But I wouldn't be surprised if the charges get reduced. Like, if they didn't and she did what she, like, I just wouldn't be surprised. Let me say that.
That's going to come out later on, but they're keeping it the highest charge right now. So they believe they have enough to prosecute this beyond a reasonable doubt.
And for her, she makes this statement that, I mean, it appears it's a self-defense argument, something along the lines of, I had to do it to save myself. And I don't know if there's a mental health challenge that's going on. I'm not sure. How do you determine, considering there were two people that know what happened and one of them's dead? How do you know?
I was about to say that. I was about to say, like, what the hell is she been on? Like, what has she been stable? Yeah. Try to do that and say it's self-defense. Okay, if it's self-defense, right. If it's self-defense. she won't have no problem getting it out, telling the story. Like, you know, I was sitting here and da-da-da, came, attacked me, I jumped back, I had to do what I had to do. Like, it'll be something that'll be almost, especially with the trauma and just, and going through the experience, it'll be second nature. Especially when you know you had to do that. Like, it's self-defense. I ain't no problem telling my side when I know I was in the right on a self-defense. To me, that's a free kill. I know this is about her, you know what I'm saying, but she's just saying it's self-defense. She must got a good explanation, good story on why it's self-defense. Will have to be
as the people investigating this,
premeditated.
whether this was self-defense or not.
Well, we look, as far as investigators, we look to find out the whys, and that's where the people have this, what we call the culpable mental state. Was it intentional? And was it accidental? It doesn't seem to be that way. Was it reckless? Was it, knowingly doing this? These are coming into play, but with murder one, it's intentional. So we're looking to find evidence to show the intent of the individual, and that's usually the hardest to prove. So that's why they're going to do it again, a deep dive into the defendant at this point via social media, any domestic incident reports they've had in the past, talk to neighbors, talk to friends, to see if there was some sort of acrimony between them, that relationship, because the self-defense is what the prosecutor is going to have to deal with, if that's going to be the case. And now the defense attorney is going to have to bring into play
be the case.
Some evidence to show that there's self-defense. And the prosecutor is going to look at all the evidence.
Which will be wild if it's the case. If it's self-defense, that'll be wild. Like I said, it'd be one hell of a story. So, like I said, I'm not trying to.
And there may be wounds because they've been utilizing the knife. Because of the severity of the stabbing, you may have caused wounds because of the knife that she's utilizing, causing that stabbing. Because if you're and now the defense attorney is going to have to bring into play some evidence to show that there's self-defense, and the prosecutor is going to look at all the evidence they have to refute that defense by the defense attorney.
What could it mean where it's police say she had cuts on her hands, and she had to be, Angie Mock, the suspect in this case, she had to be taken to the hospital because she had cuts on her hands. What does that tell you?
Well, here's the issue again. Are they defensive wounds? Are they wounds because of the knife that she's utilizing causing that stabbing? Because if you're and this is what investigators find out a lot of times is, if there's two injured parties, especially when it comes to a knifing or a stabbing, there may be defensive wounds, and there may be wounds.
Yeah, man, she might have a little bitch in her, man. I don't mean to be, I'm sorry. Ooh. I was totally out of pocket. What I'm trying to say is, you never know the conditions. I got a lot of people, I know a lot of people, and a lot of homegirls, man, have some distraught relationships with their mothers. Like, stuff be all cool on the surface, but stuff be really just, like, it be past trauma, past, like all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they be in secret competition. Mothers just never respect them. Give them that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm just talking right now. I don't know what the hell would make this woman, like I said, it's either or. It's either or. Either old girl lost
because
it.
They've been utilizing the knife.
Or it's
because of the
self-defense.
severity of the stabbing, you may have caused injury to your own hand. So that's what they're going to do. They probably taken photos of the hands and spoken to her, because now you're going to look at the victim in this case. Does she have defensive wounds on herself? Is there any defensive wounds on her arms, on her hands? Right. So, if the injuries are to the defendant's hands, that leans, no absolutes to this, that leans to the fact that she was the one with the initial stabbing. So what evidence that shows that the victim tried to create injury toward the defendant? And that's what they're going to look for. That's what the defense attorney is going to look for. That's why with this case, you want to make sure all the ducks in a row, that you've taken photos of the crime scene, you've interviewed all parties that you can interview, and you're finding any background, because, this doesn't happen in a vacuum. This happens around almost 8 o'clock in the morning. So was this a routine that they would meet up, or was this I drive to the house and stab my mom? So this is what we're going to have to find out as the investigation goes forward.
To start a podcast with Riverside.
I thought I was going to really get an answer out of this. Blood covered New Zealand stab mom. I guess this is basically still going. It's ongoing. Let me see what else they have to say about it. Let's see if they got anything.
You need is a concept and a way to record it. Here's how it works.
Well, and the other part too is I know, and again, there's a lot that we don't know. We'll see how this case goes forward. But she stabbed her mom allegedly multiple times. Does that hurt someone's self-defense argument if there's?
That's the thing right there. Like, you lost it on. It's your mom. Like, I don't. It's like, say this is like, even if you had to like use physical harm to stop your mom from attacking you, and you had and we're taking this situation, so you stabbed her because whatever she probably had was gonna hurt you worse. You would probably you would stab her only one time. You would stab her just and get back and jump back and say, "Mom, I told you," like, fuck it. Then you would call the police for it. I mean, the ambulance for it. You wouldn't stab her multiple times. Like that multiple time is like, that's losing it. That's like spazzing the fuck out. That's like she snapped. Like, yeah, mentally unstable, whatever she was holding in, whatever her mom did or whatever to trigger her, she blacked the fuck out, because you just don't have to stab that old bitch that many times to stop her from, you know what I'm saying? You deliberately, you tried to stop her from, you succeeded. That right there is going to be hard to explain. Like,
there's multiple stab wounds that someone, could have stopped, but they didn't. If that's actually what's alleged here.
Yeah, when you see these type of incidents, and you see domestic incidents, there may be one stab, or multiple, and that's what will happen. But what we have to determine, the fact is, were there injuries that the defendant sustained that were considered, a way of defending herself? Where was this knife? If the body is found in the bedroom, the trail of blood from where this incident originally took place to where we find the body, or where the body is found, that's all based on the crime scene photos that you're going to obtain. If you had any information from the defendant prior, that's why those 911 calls are recorded, because you want to hear what that, in this case, the defendant said exactly to the 911 operator, because that's important. And dispatch, the EMS that responds to the scene, what did they hear? What did she say to them? Because that is all admissible, because it's not about being in custody. It's just about getting general information from the for this case.
And how hard is it to determine what is a defensive wound?
That would be a conference with you're talking
oh
about
my
medical.
Lord. God damn. Hold on. Was that her? Okay. Remember the, oh, I see the dress. Okay. Okay. Look at this funny looking nigga. Okay, shawty. Yeah, how far did I go back? Okay, see, look, it got a little, the Britney Spears in you. I see you. Yeah, I'm trying to get, okay, I went all of here. Hello. I know I seen what I seen when I seen what I seen. I know I didn't. I just seen her.
Did, but they're gonna. If you have an opportunity to speak to someone prior to that, you want to see the inconsistencies from what they said at the moment that they're calling to when they have the opportunity to speak to an investigator and to then.
I got hurt in a car wreck. Why should I call DM Law?
Because whether you have a $10,000 fender bender or a multi-million-dollar case, we'll fight to get you every.
I know I just seen her without nothing on. She looked like she was deprived of all her cosmetics. Like, you see her right there, looking like, okay, come here, okay. I seen that bitch looked like who she looked like? She looked like that one girl that hated on that skater that back in the early 90s, that one skater that injured the other skater in the scandal. Back in the early 90s, I know you youngsters don't know, but like she looked like her. Like doing just like, man. Woo, boy, I tell you the trickery, I tell you.
Find out what they're saying is accurate, and that's what it is. You're not be able to find always that people are lying, but you're looking for inconsistencies in their stories, and that's where you refute it by evidence and facts.
Part of this story too, I mean, so Angie Mock is, I think, 47 years old. Her mom is 81. Does age ever factor into how credible someone's self-defense argument may be?
Hold on now. I think he said she's 47 and her mother was 81. I don't think she beat that. Come on now. 81 years old. You stabbing an 81-year-old. What the hell she do? Gamble all your savings? What did she do? Lord.
That people are lying, but you're looking for inconsistencies in their stories, and that's where you refute it by evidence and facts.
Part of this story too, I mean, so Angie Mock is, I think, 47 years old. Her mom is 81.
Yeah.
Does age ever factor into how credible someone's self-defense argument may be? I don't know the type of shape her mom was in and all of that, but it seems like for someone in their 80s to be the aggressor, that's something that could raise some red flags when you have the person who's facing charges here is 47 years old, relatively young. I've certainly never been in a situation where someone's come at me with a knife if that's what she's alleging happened, but just how do you factor in some of the age dynamics that are at play in this story?
You look at the age, obviously, the strength and physicality of the victim at this point, the mother. That comes back to interviews with other people that know her. She has a husband who knows, maybe he has more information about some background between the mother-daughter situation. Age does make a difference, but it comes back to, were there injuries that she stated, that the defendant at this point stated, that caused her to fight back against the mother? Because, I mean, if the body's in the bedroom, where is the knife? If this was self-defense, the knife would be somewhere present. No one's talked about it. We don't know if it's there or not. They don't know if it's recovered or not. But if you're defending somebody, where was this knife recovered from, and where did it come from? Was it brought by the defendant? Was it in the kitchen? Because it's rare you see people bring knives into bedrooms. So that's where the process of this crime scene investigation, the initial crime scene being in the house, you have to determine, where did the fight start, where did this incident start, and where did it end? Did the mother crawl into it? And that's why, even though we don't have photos of where the body was at the time, it's based on the interviews of the first responders and maybe
I don't give a what that. She stabbed an 81-year-old woman. If this was a man who did it, who stabbed his mother, this would have been all over with. Like she got the full of flea flicker. She's got to know something we don't know. Maybe grandma pulled out that dirty Harry. Grandma still with that dirty Harry, like grandma pulled out something too powerful for her, 81 years old. She about to miss. And then when you tackle her, and when you tackle my mama, and come on now, I can't even try to even create one for her, man. This is ridiculous. Then you tackle her, you climb up on her because you try to grab the gun again. So then you just hit my mom. They said she hit her. They said she stuck her multiple times. So she got up on the bed, started up.
Of the defendant prior to being a defendant. Like, where's the mother? I stabbed my mom. Where's your mom? These all come out. These will all come out.
In those police interviews, how are you trained to question someone when you're trying to figure out exactly what happened? What are some of the slip-ups that you see defendants make, suspects make, when they're trying to say, hey, this was self-defense?
If we're anything like you, you know what it feels like to get these medical bills in the mail and sometimes wonder, how am I going to do this? We've personally experienced the blessing of
They came at me. I was just defending myself. I'm innocent. What are some of the ways that you can figure out whether or not they're actually...
I'm going to just say this. I have been in self-defense. Been in an altercation where I had to use a weapon. Same one. I had to use the cutter, you know, you know what I'm saying, and it was self-defense. When it's self-defense, it is what it is. And that's how you're gonna present it. I didn't overdo my part. When I stuck him to get him off me. When he got off me, he yelped, he ran. Anybody else? I said, yo, anybody else want some? I was on defense. She was definitely on the offense. She was trying to end something. Well, not trying, but she did. There was no, like, when you say multiple, that's over 2 times. That's over 2 times. So that first one is to get you off me. Maybe a second one is because you try to come back in. By that time, that second one, I mean, you could pretty much just, you know, they ain't really got too much, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, multiple times, that's crazy.
Actually telling the truth.
That's going back to the investigation. We've had, do people lie to the police? Absolutely. It's, you know, we only meet these people for a few hours, maybe a few days, so we don't really know their background and what they're telling you is the truth. So you find out with the facts, and that's why the specific question is, if she's attacking you, where were you in the room? What did she do?
Right.
Show me what she did to you. These are things.
You better know what.
And what you find that.
And you better know. You better see the thing about. One thing about the truth is, especially the truth of a person who had to protect themselves, and that had to happen. The story would never change for them. And it never changed for them. It was an experience. It never changed for them. Only somebody get it wrong will have to change the story, will have to lie about it. So if it wasn't self-defense, then your story is going to change if you had the intent on killing someone instead of you actually defending yourself.
And is the inconsistencies in the story based on the facts? If she's saying she's defending herself, how come, what kind of injuries and those hand wounds, if those are hand wounds and they're not defensive, it refutes what she's saying is self-defense. That's why. Is there any injury that she sustained that is beyond the hands, that the damage to her hands from the cuts, from the knife? And that's what you're looking at. If she hit her with an object, a dangerous instrument, a remote control, whatever, a lamp, where is it? Where was that done?
He's still going to jail. If she hits you with a remote control and you stabbed her, you're going to jail. Oh, my 81-year-old mother hit me with a remote. I felt my life was threatened, so I stabbed her multiple times. You're going to jail. That was a thank you right there. They're going to give you something. You're going to get... Yeah.
And right now, based on what you have, and you have, it's a lot of speculation, there doesn't seem to be many injuries facially to her from her mugshot. So I don't know what else that she has, because she can claim that she was in.
Besides her ass looking not like she was looking out, well, she looked terrible in that mugshot. I think that shit just, damn, girl. You know what? You done this, and you had a successful career. I mean, you did all this, and this is the way you ended. You know, you might as well just came and just worked for me. You might as well just been one of my hoes or something. No, for real. If this where you end up at the end of all what you accomplished, you might as well have been one of my hoes back in 2015. I mean, the answer I really thought this was about, this is basically a summary. I'm not going to get this. The video is pretty much over. So there definitely is going to be a follow-up on, the details of what happened. Is it true? Because still, right now, as Nan is still going through the process, so there's not convicted. I mean, she might be charged with some things, but she's not convicted of nothing yet. So, they got that $1 million bond. I tell you that though, that ain't looking good, boy. Slap $1 million bond on you, boy. You might as well be guilty almost. I ain't seen too many. It's not too many motherfuckers that wasn't guilty that had $1 million bond on them. Let me just say that. But, with that said, I'm finna take a quick break, y'all. And then we're gonna come back with this video of Alton murder. We're gonna find the details together. So yeah, I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. We're gonna continue this video with a reaction. Case too disturbing to make it to Netflix. I don't know why they said this happened in Alton or something like that. I don't know. Alright, let's get this started. Let's see what's up.
Up to $2 million per person may be available to survivors of abuse at Illinois youth facilities, the maximum amount allowed by law. In a landmark move toward accountability and justice,
to the dumpster. So when I took her to the dumpster, there's a lot of clothes and shit in there, all strode all over, laundry basket, and there was a couple pair of shoes. Shoes was some slipper shoes too. Slipper shoes. Okay. They was red. They had blood on them. They all look like female shit. For real though. Male shit too.
Female and male clothes?
Yeah.
Okay.
The next day, around 1 p.m., this mother, Heidi Noel, arrives at her daughter, Lisa Dodd's apartment. Lisa is 22 and currently 8 months pregnant. Heidi hasn't heard from her in over 15 hours since the night before. Something feels off. She lets herself in. 2 minutes later, other residents can be seen opening the door. Heidi steps back outside, visibly shaking. The neighbors' expressions say everything. And then Heidi makes a chilling 911 call.
911, what's the address?
Yeah. Hi. Listen.
What's going on?
My girlfriend's daughter is killed. Yeah.
What's going on there?
My girlfriend's daughter killed her. My girlfriend. What's going on there? My girlfriend's daughter killed her.
My girlfriend, I'm sorry, my daughter's, he chopped her head off.
Police arrive shortly after and discover the lifeless body of Lisa. In this video, we'll walk you through exactly what happened to Lisa Dodd.
Oh my God, it was in the house? She walked in and seen that? Man, that's messed up. That is messed up, man.
Night she was murdered. With never before seen footage here on the decoder, we advise viewer discretion as some of its contents may be disturbing. Now, let's dive into the chilling murder of Lisa Dodd.
Okay.
Lisa was living in Alton, Madison County, in Illinois.
I'm right. It's crazy because I'm living. I used to stay in Alton. I'm very familiar with Alton. I'm from St. Louis. I didn't know even Alton existed until I got out to Navy. Got out to Navy in like 2003. Came back home and was looking for my own apartment and found out it was a small town, like right across the river. Like from where I was stomping at, from Parker Road, from like North County, North City. And I was like, damn, I didn't know it was that close. So that's how I even knew anything about Alton. I've been pretty much over these waves back and forth ever since. So yeah, that's crazy. This is basically, man, this is home basically.
Illinois, a suburb of St. Louis, in which she was born. Though it has a far higher crime rate than that of Illinois as a whole, it's where she felt at home. And the residents of this quiet street feel the same.
What did they just say? Well, they know they gassing some shit up around this motherfucker, boy. It's not a suburb of St. Louis. Don't be trying to do us like that. And what? The crime? I know lately it's been getting crime, right? And you got a little stuff like that, but man.
Surveillance footage, they can be seen taking the trash out, going to work, and carrying out other errands. But all that is about to change. Further up the road, there's construction work going on. Trash from the construction site, like bits of drywall, are going in a large red dumpster parked on the street outside. And on the morning of June 9th, one man carrying old drywall out discovers something in the dumpster that shouldn't be there.
This is what the knife look like. Down like that.
Okay.
That short.
Damn, that's it. Whoa, whoa, you hear that, chat? What? Chat, we need some W's for Connor right now. Hold up.
If you're watching, please like and subscribe, follow. This is your boy Exceptionally Essex, and this is Late Night Shenanigans. I just do reviews, you know. I watch assortment of different things, different topics, whatever, and react to yeah, y'all just the gist. Yeah.
On that mode.
So like a paring knife?
Like with teeth on it, like you cut meat.
Like serrated?
Yeah,
okay.
Like that. That's what the knife looked like. Just
Was
like
the handle longer than the blade, or was the...
No, it was short, about like this. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that long.
And when you picked up the knife...
Not like a knife you could cut a head off with.
By a blade. You ain't got a handle.
Through that motherfucker. I got you.
Oh shit, blood on it. That.
Was the blood on the handle? Was it on the blade? Was it covered in it?
I it was on the blade.
It was on the blade?
Yeah.
The contractor knows something isn't right about this scene,
right,
and he wants to get as far away from it as possible. This is the first sign that this June 9th isn't going to be as ordinary a summer day as the local residents first thought.
Got a message from her last night.
What time did you last hear from her?
It was like 9:05 or so. I had sent her a text, and she said they were talking. And then I tried again at 10, and she didn't answer. And then I tried this morning 2 times, and she didn't answer. And so then I came over here because she usually answers.
Okay. So last time we talked to her was last night when she sent your text message, right?
Yes.
Okay. The officers are coming. They'll be there shortly, okay? Okay. Okay.
First responders are dispatched at 12:59 p.m.
I know
and they
exactly
arrive
what
to find
they
Heidi
upstate.
still sitting on the steps,
They uptown.
crying.
It's down Milton. They look like Milton. They just turned off for.
Where we going on? Anybody else here? Do you have a key to get in? Right here. This one. Do you have the key?
Oh, I'm sorry.
She gives them the code to enter the apartment building, and though they know what they're going to find, it never gets any easier.
Evan, watch the rear.
Lisa's apartment is on the 2nd floor. The door is unlocked. They discover her body in her bedroom. At least they think it's her body. Her head appears to be wrapped in a towel like a turban. But underneath the turban, her head is gone.
That's crazy. Like, that's on a whole nother level, I mean. To just, first of all, it's just all bad anyway, just to take a life, period. Wherever this man did this for, or whoever, I don't even know who yet. But for you to cut the head off, just, man, like you on some whoa. And that's what, I don't know if that was her mother, I didn't really, but that's what they had to see. That's what they had to, that's their last, like,
cut off.
She wasn't kidding. Can we go sit on these front porch steps, though? Okay.
Well, I don't want to bother those people.
You know what? I'll tell them.
My car.
I'll tell them to go away. Okay.
It's okay.
Well, I just. Sir. Apartment 4 upstairs to the right.
Oh my God.
Here, let's
Oh God, Lisa, why didn't you listen?
take some big deep breaths for me, okay?
And then I touched her, and she was cold, and so then I wanted to make sure that he just strangled her.
Mhm.
And then there wasn't a head. Please find her head.
No one else is in the apartment. There's no sign of a murder weapon, and there's no sign of Lisa's head either. Her killer must have disposed of it elsewhere. Not only has Lisa been murdered, but her body has been desecrated. And this peaceful neighborhood has been torn apart.
They let us know that somebody was found dead next door to lose a child that way. And that baby is an extension of her mother and the rest of her family. So they lost a child as well. They lost two.
So how did we get here? What happened to lead this young woman who had her whole life ahead of her and was soon to be a mother to such a horrible end? To understand how this crime unfolded, we'll need to go back 24 hours. We find Lisa just living her life, looking forward to her future ahead. Here she is on her porch at just before 2 p.m. on June 8th, scrolling on her phone and looking out at the lawn. In 10 hours, she'll be dead. Lisa Dodd was born in Alton, Madison County on August 14, 1999. She was a bright and enthusiastic child with a particular love for animals. For her 10th birthday, instead of receiving presents, she opted to organize a fundraiser for Riverbend Humane Society, a local no-kill animal shelter in Jerseyville. She continued to have a caring attitude throughout her teenage years. She graduated from Jersey Community High School in 2017 and started to work at Dairy Queen, where customers remember her as a vibrant and friendly server. But she wasn't just in it because she enjoyed socializing with her customers. She was saving up to realize her ambitions of going into the medical field, like her mom before her. In June 2022, she was also 8 months pregnant. The baby was going to be a girl.
I had just sent out invitations the prior Saturday for the baby shower. We were just excited and kind of gathering the items you need to have a baby.
Lisa hadn't yet decided on a name for her baby. The family were just calling it Baby Bean, and they were looking forward to the birth and everything that would come afterwards.
She was just a loving soul, just a beautiful soul, and I just wish she would have.
That's crazy, because you know what? I remember hearing about this, like, years ago, about somebody cutting a guy doing this. It just dawned on me, but I never really, I was into whatever I was into. So I really never. It's just kind of one of them things you just hear. You just keep going by your own thing, your day. But respect for the loss. Sorry to the loss of the families and the families of it's an unfortunate situation. I hate to bring up old, but I just came across it and interesting. I don't know. If anything was ever, closed or. So this is what I'm here to get educated, educational purposes, and react to unfortunate situation.
Known how loved she was, that she wouldn't have ever been alone, that she could have gotten out of this relationship and had a full life.
Lisa was in an on-again, off-again relationship with a man named DeAndre Holloway, another Illinois native. DeAndre is the same age as Lisa. It's unclear how they met, but they've been seeing each other for a while, nearly 2 years. DeAndre also has some issues. He uses substances, and he's had a difficult home life, according to his half-sister, PJ.
How long has he not lived there?
He moved out when he was about 18.
And how old is he now?
21.
Okay. Where did he go when he moved out?
I'm not sure.
Okay. What do you know about DeAndre's life currently, about his relationship status and things like that, and where he lives and things like that?
He lives pretty much with everybody. He lives with his girlfriend, but whenever they get into it, he hops in different people's homes.
He's also taken Lisa with him on this shiftless lifestyle in the past. At one point, according to her old boss at Dairy Queen, the couple were homeless, living in a tent by Lake Litchfield.
I think she was making up a story.
Okay.
And then she finally did tell me that she had some problems with her boyfriend, was hitting her, and they were actually homeless and were living out at the campground at the lake.
At the start of 2022, they'd moved into the apartment building in Alton, but things weren't going well between the couple.
She had a lot of personal problems with a boyfriend, a lot of calling off. She had a lot of black eyes when she would come in. When she first started, she would make excuses that her dog had jumped up and hit her and caused her black eye.
No lie. Those are just the signs of a long term. Nobody's getting better. When you gotta know when it's just time to leave. Because usually when these things are happening and it's constant, it's like no breaks. It goes straight to that. Those are telltale signs that y'all don't even need to be together. Y'all gonna have a couple, gonna have they arguments, their relationship problems, things like that's gonna come. But when it's coming at frequently and it's always, it's time to, especially looking at that. And I got a daughter as well. Yeah.
She was constantly running late, for personal reasons. Always something coming up. She had a lot of black eyes, a lot of bruising on her arms, where you could see, maybe grabbing.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Lisa's boss once even witnessed one of these altercations.
What specifically did you see when the day you actually witnessed her being battered? What did you see?
A punch in the face.
You saw Mr. Holloway punch
her face.
Okay.
Yeah.
So were they in the car when that happened, or were they outside the car?
No, they were in the car, and we have cameras on the back of the building. We actually tried to roll the cameras back, but they're not very good definition, so we weren't able to actually see it.
Okay.
He said he was a user. I've been around the block and around the country and around the world. I've been a few places around the world. Anytime when substance is involved and it's a relationship type deal, it's no good. There's nothing good gonna happen out of it until it's not. I mean, not when both of them and one is not. They not both set on changing their life for real. That shit just headed for destruction. Real talk. There's nothing good coming out of that shit.
And was he in the driver's seat?
Yes, he was.
Okay. And did she return to work after that happened?
She did.
And did you see any? Did she have any visible injuries on that occasion?
Her face was red.
Okay. And did she say anything, or was she confronted about that?
I asked her about it, and she said they had gotten in an argument. Eventually, after the excuses about the dog and things like that stopped, she was honest about it and just said that they were always arguing and fighting, and then they would make up and it would happen again.
Okay. Did she, like specifically that day when she was struck? Was there any conversation like after the fact when she comes back into work about the police or?
I wanted to call the police, and she did not want to do that.
Okay.
On one occasion, in July 2021, Lisa landed in the hospital after DeAndre apparently broke her nose and gave her 2 black eyes. They'd also been seen arguing on the street in the past. And following one such argument, a witness saw DeAndre punching himself in the face, as if to punish himself. It got bad to the extent that in September 2021...
Oh yeah, he punching himself in the face, boy. When you... Yeah. Yeah.
She texted her
Ignored
boss.
all the flags.
My boyfriend beat me again, and I had to go to my mom's. They're wanting me to stay in a safe place because he's threatened before to harm us. Is there any way I could get my shift for tomorrow covered until things settle down a little? I can work the rest of the week. We're just trying to make place to stay safe.
This didn't last, however. Lisa and DeAndre were back together soon enough. In May, DeAndre introduced Lisa to his half-sister, PJ. According to her, DeAndre was the father of Lisa's baby.
You can tell she's pregnant.
Yes.
And I know this is a dumb question. Did he say that it was his?
Yes. They both did. Yeah.
And whenever they fight, what does he do? Like, where does he go?
He just takes off, and nobody knows where he goes.
Do you know that they fight a lot before? Or?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
He told me.
He'd been texting a friend about his poor mental state. On June 5th, just after midnight, he wrote, "I feel like it's all the emotions I've ever put to the side just coming out now at once for real. My cup filled up and now it's got to spill over. I don't know how to healthily let out emotions without snapping or crying because I'm too pissed to talk." He also wrote, "I've always had to be the man even when I was a kid and was always put in grown man situations with so much pressure on me, and even to this day still. He sounds like a man close to his breaking point." And on Tuesday, June 7th, DeAndre went missing. PJ added Lisa on social media as the family tried to search for him.
Like you out there, man, you feeling the way he feeling, man, I know it's more easier than say, but get some help, man. I ain't gonna lie, I've been in different mind states, but one thing about me is I didn't like no company. I ain't like no, my misery didn't like a company. I'd rather be, you know what I'm saying? Those times I'd rather be alone. Till I got over what the hell I got. You know what I'm saying? Actually, he didn't know how to process all that.
I'm currently friends with her now because we were looking for him yesterday because he just went missing.
Okay.
So I found her on Facebook and tried to get some information to see if she knew.
How does it start?
The first person she called was my grandma, and she asked my grandma if he was at her house, and she said no. And the girlfriend said that he didn't come home Tuesday night into Wednesday, and she was looking for him and stuff, and she thought that he may have went to my grandma's house. So my grandma called me and asked if he was up there or if I heard from him.
Lisa came home from work on Tuesday to find that DeAndre wasn't there. He hadn't said anything.
It's crazy because, you know, she out there working. They was homeless at one point. And she's steady trying to make this happen. Got a baby on the way. And he now got his shit together. I'm not even trying. And this is what he's on. That's why you gotta be careful who you pick and deal with. This motherfucker to put holes in your shit. And you be trying to throw the water out the boat and they be poking holes in it. I'm telling you.
Anything about when or if he'd be home. Lisa, pregnant nearly to full term and with a lot on her plate, was understandably stressed out. She texted her mom about it at around 9 p.m. on June 7th. She wrote,
"You think he'd just leave like this?"
fretting that he'd taken some clothes with him and that he deliberately left, never to return.
"I think I got left."
Heidi tried to comfort her, looking for a silver lining in the situation. She'd been concerned about her daughter's relationship for some time now, and this seemed like maybe a blessing in disguise. If this is how it's meant to happen, at least it was nonviolent, she wrote. And you've been set free. Lisa replied.
"I'm not seeing it that way yet."
Heidi asked, did he talk about anything going on he wanted to go to? But Lisa had no answers. She just replied,
"No, we just had a weird day."
And said that she'd reacted badly to him that day. Her mom dug for more information, and Lisa said,
"I broke a razor down and cut my leg because I told him I was just going to kill myself."
Why were you going to kill yourself? Her mom asked. This calm response possibly indicating it wasn't the first time she'd heard something like,
why does she look so familiar? Not the girl, the mother. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
Like this from her daughter. Lisa told her,
"Because I just can't get it right."
If DeAndre had been spiraling, then clearly so had Lisa. The relationship was a powder keg waiting to explode. But in the end, Heidi convinced her that stressing out wouldn't help her or her baby. Eventually, Lisa went to bed, but not before taking her car out on a half-hour nighttime drive at 1:39 a.m., too anxious to sleep. The next morning, at 7:06 a.m., she texted her mom. Still no. DeAndre still hadn't come home. She went through her morning routine, washing her work clothes for her shift later, as if it was a normal day, but she felt like something was seriously wrong. She wrote,
"I still feel like he'll show up, but I can't tell."
This is when she started reaching out to DeAndre's family, including his half-sister, PJ. Heidi suggested, You could call APD and ask if he was arrested, or ask Joe if there was anything weird on the cameras. Joe was Lisa's landlord. She did as her mom suggested and texted him.
My boyfriend didn't come home last night, and he left his phone. I was wondering if you could watch the cameras and tell me if you see him leave and what he was wearing. His family and I are really worried.
The CCTV showed that DeAndre had gone out with his Uncle Marty, his dad's brother, on Tuesday evening.
The girlfriend called the landlord to their apartment because they have cameras around the apartment and stuff. And she asked the landlord if he can go back and look at the cameras and stuff to see if he saw DeAndre, which he did. It was like around 6:24 when he left the apartment, and he went with his uncle that lives in St. Louis.
Is everybody relieved at that point, or like?
Not really, because the girlfriend said that his uncle was supposed to bring him back that night, and he was supposed to call like before 10, and then it was after 10.
But he didn't come back that night. PJ went to bed early on the evening of June 8th without hearing anything else. Lisa, meanwhile, received a message out of the blue at about 8 p.m. from DeAndre's uncle, saying he was bringing DeAndre back and that everything was fine. With his uncle, that's who called anyway. Her mom replied, "Where does his uncle live?" And that's still across the bridge, Lisa said, and yeah, I agree. Heidi wasn't happy about the way her heavily pregnant daughter was being treated. She didn't trust DeAndre at all. She told Lisa, "And of course it's your fault. That. And you better be careful so he doesn't give you something that Bean will catch." Ignoring this advice, Lisa went to pick DeAndre up. They could be seen here on CCTV, arriving back at their apartment at 9:11 p.m. While in the car, Lisa texted her mom, "I'm trying to figure it out." This was the last text she'd ever send. And this CCTV image is the last time she'd ever be pictured. At 10:49 p.m., Heidi texted, "You okay?" and received no reply. By then, Lisa was already dead. Over the next few hours of CCTV, various neighbors come and go. Neither Lisa nor DeAndre are seen again. Until 11:57 p.m., when DeAndre comes out. He's carrying a white laundry basket. He comes to stand next to Lisa's car without getting inside, suggesting he's forgotten the keys. He's changed his clothes, and he's now wearing dark shoes and a face covering. He goes back inside and comes out again a few minutes later, again carrying the laundry basket. He walks.
Yeah, man, you didn't have them all.
Walks out of frame and towards a nearby smoke shop, around the back of which is a dumpster. CCTV from a local business displays the rest. At 1 minute past midnight, we can see the white laundry basket being thrown into the dumpster, alongside some clothes. This laundry basket, as the police will later discover, contains Lisa's head.
Wow.
2 hours later, her car is missing from the parking lot. DeAndre has gone to his mother's house.
And then my sister said around 2:30 in the morning that he's like banging on the door and stuff, and he's like pacing and like acting nervous.
Where?
At my house.
This morning?
Yeah, this morning
at
2:30.
PJ finds him in the bathroom at around 10 a.m. the next morning, June 9th. 3 hours before Lisa's mom will discover her daughter's body.
I seen my grandma standing at the doorway to the bathroom, and I looked and I'm like, oh, there's Dee.
Like, come on, man, you gonna go. It'd be so fucked up. Like, he must have, like, you don't go do this and then bring all this back to your sister's house. Niggas be out here doing great. The last thing I do if I'm, wouldn't be doing that anyway, but if I'm in a situation, like that, with murder, with anything like. I'm not coming bringing that heat back to my people like that. I'm not coming back running to my. What kind of bitch ass shit is that, man? Got your people shit all fucked up. Cause your ass can't even handle your own fucking shit that you done caused out there. You running in for help, bringing in all the bullshit ass traffic and negative shit. Man, run, go somewhere else. I'll call you. Hey man, I love you. This will probably be the last time you hear from me, see man. But this is this, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be out my business. I'll be gone. You gonna bring this shit back to us? It's like, you know, this nigga mine.
And he was cutting his hair off and stuff, and I asked him why he was cutting his hair off, and he just said a fresh start.
Okay. And what's his demeanor like?
He was like nervous, like you can tell he was like really nervous.
Yeah, I bet he is. He fucking sat there. He didn't just kill the girl. He cut her head off. Why would you? You know, you. The whole process of removing, like you doing that. That's you. Like you. That's all in his head. Like, of course he's nervous as hell. He's stained with it.
Just your personal opinion, why do you think he's cutting his hair off?
Got in trouble.
This guy got in trouble. Yeah, he was in trouble.
DeAndre hasn't cut his hair in 2 years, and he's proud of his dreadlocks. Why would he be cutting his hair off today of all days? He asks his mom if he can take a shower and have some clothes. She gives him a change of clothes, including a pair of gray sweatpants.
Clothes that he had on, he took them outside for some reason, and he set it by the sidewalk, and then he comes back in, and then he was...
Did you see him take those clothes off?
Yes.
So is that why because he said he didn't have a shirt to wear. So when do you see him take the clothes off?
He had a hoodie on and some pants, and then he took his shirt off, or his hoodie off, when he was cutting his hair. Because it was already off.
Hey, your sister ain't playing no game. Oh no, she ain't playing no game. You thought she was gonna not to spill the beans. I ain't seen the mama. But yeah, your sister, she and rightfully so, he deserved it. He deserved. It's not one of them situations. He deserved everything, and to be caught and to be served justice for this. This one playing, bro. Mm-hmm. I agree with her. I mean,
he still had the pants on and stuff, and the hoodie was on the bathroom floor.
He's doing stuff like that, man.
Asked him out for clothes.
Yeah.
And then he didn't have a shirt on, obviously.
Because he didn't want to put this on first.
So yeah, what were those clothes?
I know it was a bucket hat. I think it was like blue.
You didn't see him hat. He had a hat on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
He had like a bucket hat on. I think it was like blue or something.
Anything about the hoodie that you recognize? With the shirt he had on. So when he gets to the shower, those clothes are all in the bathroom?
Yeah.
And then that's when he gets the gray pants from your mom, and does he ask you for a shirt?
No, I just gave him one.
Because he knew.
Yeah.
So then what does he do with the clothes?
After he got out of the shower, he took them outside, put them by the sidewalk where our trash can was. And then he comes back in the house, chats for a little bit and stuff. And then my grandma was cooking breakfast, and she asked him if he wanted a plate. And he said, yeah. And then that's when he went back outside. And then I guess the clothes that he had on the sidewalk, he put them in the trash, which they're in there now.
PJ was asleep when
Grandma didn't feel none of that intuition that these females be saying they be having. Grandma didn't feel her grandson was a little dirty. She didn't catch that negativity that walked in, the death on him. Yeah, the death on him.
And DeAndre came home that night at around 2:30 a.m., but her sister was awake.
She said that when he was banging on the door and stuff, it scared her, and she was asleep in the living room watching Netflix. Well, not asleep, but she was awake.
These 4 girls there then? Sister, mom, grandma, all there overnight?
It was me, my mom, sister, grandma. Yes. Yeah. She said that she hears like really loud banging and stuff, and then she looks out, and she said she seen D, and then when she opened the door, she looked in the parkway, in the parking lot, and in her driveway, and then she said that she seen a black car.
I'm tired tonight, I ain't gonna lie. I'm done after this.
Girlfriend drives a black car.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Summoners, did you know that each duplicate champion you pull is slightly different? Take Death Knight, for example.
It seems strange to DeAndre's family that he showed up driving.
If y'all watch it, please like and subscribe. Follow, double tap the screen. All that. Yes, sir. It's Essex Martin Spot, sectionally Essex. And this is the live review and reaction.
His girlfriend's car without his girlfriend. And the suspicious signs don't end there. His grandmother notices he's got other items of Lisa's property.
He had
like a grandma.
I don't even know what his girlfriend's name is. But anyhow, he had gave me her ID in the debit card.
Okay.
And I said, well, why you got her debit card?
Yeah.
And license, you know. And I said, now she out there driving, and then she thinks she got her license, and you got it. Then this morning, he gave me 2 keys.
Okay.
And I said, well, where you get these keys from? And he said he found them on the ground. But he didn't say where he found them on the ground. And I said, well, give it here. I said, then I can get in touch with her.
Okay.
And
you want to put that stuff in there?
I'm going to get it back now?
This here?
Yeah.
Is that yours?
No, but I'm going to try.
Right.
I'm going to try to get it to her.
Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll take care of it.
You sure now?
Yeah.
The keys too?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Did he tell you what those keys were for?
He just told me he found them. Gave
What
it to
did he
me.
say to you when you asked him why he had that stuff? He didn't get an answer?
Just look like he's in a daze or something.
DeAndre doesn't have an answer as to why he'd have Lisa's possessions. And at around midday, he leaves the house without any real word about where he's going.
He said, I'm going to cut some grass. And so she asked him, where was he going to cut grass? And he just said he's going to cut grass.
Okay. And he left on foot?
He left on foot.
It seems like DeAndre has been trying to cover his tracks. He's made himself less recognizable, changing his clothes and throwing them in the garbage. He's been carrying many of Lisa's personal belongings, which he's handed off to his grandmother to get rid of. And he's left Lisa's car parked on the street with a handwritten "for sale" sign in its window. Now he's taken off on foot. His behavior is making the truth of what happened that fateful night clearer and clearer. A truth that Lisa's mom, it seems, has known all along. She said as much on her call to 911.
My daughter's boyfriend killed her. He chopped her head off.
Heidi didn't need to catch DeAndre in the act to know what he'd done.
Yeah, I already knew.
Are you outside the apartment right now?
Yeah, I already knew.
What kind of a weapon does he have?
He's not here. He took her car.
Okay, the officers are coming. So you haven't heard from her boyfriend or talked to him at all?
No, I haven't.
It seems she spoke too soon when she told her daughter to be grateful things had ended safely without violence.
Man, I know that hurt. I know that hurt because her mom kept telling her. I know that hurt. I know that bothers her the most. out of all because she knew.
Like, if I knew what was going on, I would tell you, but from last night of him doing the disappearing act to what's going on now, I have no clue, like, what has transpired.
Are you afraid of him?
Yeah, I got an order of protection on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what prompted you to get that?
He was staying with me for a couple days, and he was becoming frightening, like he was going to do something, so I was like, you gotta go. And so when he left, he called my daughter back and was like, I love you guys, and I'm coming back to kill you.
Damn.
There's a lot of work that goes into making a podcast. The setup is one thing, then you've still got to edit. This is where Riverside comes in.
So what actually happened inside the apartment that night between the couple walking inside at 9:11 p.m. and DeAndre coming back out just before midnight? They're downstairs now.
Jesus, and like, they came in at 9:11 and he came back out just before midnight with all this fuckery. It took that man about 2 hours, man. How did that man decapitate?
Neighbors have been witnesses to a lot of the violence in their relationship.
Well, the past few days they've been arguing, and that's nothing new.
Okay.
They fight, like they used to fight all the time, and it would be loud fighting, and we actually had to call the cops on them before, because I don't know who it was, but somebody picked something up and slammed it against the wall. We assumed it was one of them throwing each other.
And on the night of June 8th, they heard it all.
Last night it was different. It was like, we got home from picking me up from work. I got home from work around 9:30-ish, and their front door was cracked, which is unusual. They don't.
9:30 p.m. last night? Okay.
They don't usually leave their front door cracked, and it was, and that was a little weird. And I heard like muffled yelling, like not screaming, but yelling in a way, kind of like in pain, like you just like snipped your finger with a scissor and you had to put some over your mouth so you wouldn't scream too loud. That's what it sounded like.
So you said it sounded like muffled screaming?
Kind of, but it wasn't too loud.
Okay.
And then later on, we heard like the apartment shakes a little bit whenever you move too much, and it started shaking. And we're like, okay, they must be fighting or something. And we were gonna wait to see if it got better, or like if it didn't, because we were just gonna go sit outside and wait it out.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to deal with it. And so whenever.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Like, they didn't even know that this was happening the whole time, and
that was happening. The apartment was shaking. They were fighting about something, and then all of a sudden, the screaming got really, really loud and really intense. And that was, I would say, probably about 9:45, 9:50. And then the apartment had like 5 or 6 loud like thuds, and they got louder and louder each time. Okay. And they shook the apartment as well. And that sounded more like it was coming from.
So like, what did it sound like experienced in life, to your best ability, that would have created or possibly created the sound that you heard?
Probably, I really don't know other than like chopping wood.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
man.
that's what it felt like he had enough, I didn't even say he, but like, you know, that's what it sounded like there was enough time to do, was like, it was very constant beats too.
Okay.
So
With that
that's what
night-
made me think it sounded like that.
So do you think it sounded like like an instrument hitting something, or do you think, or what? Something is making you feel kind of.
Excuse me, I am tired tonight. I'm doing it. I'm assuming I have to switch up my schedule in the next 2 weeks. I'm not going to be streaming so late because I'll be starting school. So, yeah, I'm going to have to rearrange my time and all that, but it's another topic.
Envision that through sound, you know what I mean? Like we hear something and our brain is gonna take that information in, right? What we're hearing, smelling, feeling, and we're gonna kind of like paint this mental picture, right?
Right.
So, what about that sound makes you think chopping wood?
It was more of how steady it was.
Okay.
Because when you chop wood, you know, you gotta lift it up, you gotta hold it, and then you gotta put all your weight into it, and all your muscle.
Yep.
And when you do it, you go.
And you kind of got a rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it had like 4, 5, 6 of those beats, and then it just stopped. The screaming stopped, the sound stopped, the shaking stopped, everything stopped.
With that said, I'm going to take a bathroom break.
We have something cool here. What you're looking at is the new Spedience home gym. This one is called the Gym Monster 2. And look at how small it is. This actually ships to you, basically assembled. A huge bonus for fitness equipment in general. They can be a real nuisance to...
That chopping sound, something the neighbors couldn't bring themselves to consider, was the sound of Lisa's head being cut off.
At that point, we heard somebody walk outside.
Okay.
But we weren't able to see because we just glanced down the window, and from the window that the awning is right there, so we can't see down on the patio deck area, and so we couldn't see who it was, but they were out there for about 2 minutes, and then they came back in, and they came upstairs, but I was too scared to see who it was.
And then what?
We went outside to see if so my best friend came over, and because I was like, hey, something's going on, I'm not feeling so right about this. And she was like, I'll come stay outside with you. So we were standing out waiting for one of them to come downstairs, because usually after they fight, one of them comes downstairs.
Okay.
Neither one of them did, but the lights upstairs in their apartment kept turning on and off.
Okay.
So we knew somebody was up there. We assumed it was Lacey.
Okay.
But we didn't see either one of them.
The neighbor texted their landlord. She wrote, "Hey, I don't really know what to do. We got home, and as soon as we walked in, we started feeling thumps, and then someone started screaming for like 5 minutes straight. It stopped for a minute, then the thumping started back up. The neighbor's door upstairs was also cracked open." The landlord tried to get in touch with Lisa, but heard nothing in response.
You can imagine, like, he's over there while And next door, he's over there just chopping this girl head off. Just screaming like nobody can have mercy on her. That's just crazy. This is like this. This is for no reason. This is like this. This didn't have to happen. Like.
Neighbor said, "If we hear it back up again, we'll call the cops." But they didn't hear it start back up again because it was already too late. With all of this evidence mounting up, at around 9:30 p.m. on June 9th, the police execute a search warrant on DeAndre's mother's house. In the trash can outside it, in line with PJ's statement, they find the discarded clothing he was wearing in the CCTV footage, as well as his cut-off dreadlocks wrapped in toilet paper. There's no sign of DeAndre himself. But at 1:45 a.m., the early hours of June 10th, the investigators receive a phone call from the Gillespie, Illinois Police Department. That afternoon, they took a John Doe into custody, whom they later recognized as none other than DeAndre Holloway.
Wow.
The Alton Police Department had been gearing up for a manhunt, but there's no need. DeAndre was arrested in possession of cannabis that afternoon in Gillespie.
Wow.
You search him?
Yeah. You out there in Gillespie? I know, because I used to go there and pick up some nice little fine little hoes out in Gillespie. There's little small towns out there in Illinois out here. Be having a little diamond. What the fuck your ass doing out there? He's out in Gillespie. They done called this nigga over a bag of weed. And you done murdered somebody.
That's okay. What's her name? What I have? What's that? What I have? You have cannabis on you. Oh, okay, exactly. Right.
DeAndre is restless with the officers.
Need some water or anything? Yeah, I would like some water because, you know, you guys got to... Hey, you need some water? Yeah. Okay, please, just some water. Is it okay if I walk around? Is it okay if I stand up and take a step, like a couple steps?
What you gonna do? Why you gotta do that? Pull your pants up or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
That's it.
You're fine.
He's doing his job. This man has done nothing but his job, I swear to you.
You need to sit back down in the chair, please.
Didn't you just say I could pace?
No, I didn't say could pace. I thought you said you had to get the pants. If you could sit down in there, please. Thank you.
Do you mind if I pace? Is that illegal? I'm here. I'm handcuffed, ain't it?
We don't want that. We want you to sit down.
Exactly. I know you don't want that.
So if you could please sit down, guys.
I can't. I'm handcuffed.
Yeah, you can. You can sit down.
I literally can't do it. I'm handcuffed.
You need to sit down.
Why are you guys scared of me for what?
I'm not scared. You need to sit down.
How? If I'm literally sitting here pacing handcuffed, I can't do shit.
Dog, just go ahead and throw him down and put your knees in his back and neck and stuff like this. Go ahead and do what you gotta do with this nigga. Go ahead. I know they don't know what he has done right now, but knowing what he's done while we watching it, watching this about what he's done, let's just go ahead and throw his ass down between that chair and that table with them cuffs on. However he land, put knees in his chest plate everywhere. Backbone, lower back of the neck. Let's see how he trying to talk. Like, y'all see this? Like, come on, dog. Look at him.
He swears to me.
Okay, so what's your name? What they're going to do is...
I literally asked if I was being detained. That man said no. And then he proceeded to ask me the same question over and over and over. And I said the same thing. And again, he's just not having it because he's got an attitude problem with me.
Yeah, he should have one with you, dog.
I got an attitude problem too. I know I got one. That's why I'm not sitting down.
But you know I can make you sit down, so I'm not.
Right, exactly.
Just do it.
Sit me down.
I said I could.
Do it.
I'm not going to do it.
Because you're scared. Exactly. I'm handcuffed.
Scared of what?
Do it.
You know, guy, we're not going to get into this.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, don't you just being mean to me, though?
I'm not being mean to you.
I
said you're pacing back and forth, and you said, well, set me down. And I said I could if I wanted to, but I don't want to.
He's behaving manically, pacing, and repeatedly questioning the officers. At one point, he starts to laugh and bang his head against the wall.
Don't do that. They just fucking did that. You come in here. Don't do that. Do something. That's what I'm saying. Do something. Do something. Don't do that. That's what I'm saying. Don't do that.
Yeah, look out.
The cops take drastic measures to restrain him from hurting himself. They keep him on the floor as he is.
A lot of mental health going on, man. A lot of bad mental health. People out here with very bad mental health. Not saying gonna say like my mental health has always been the best, but I'm telling you, it been like that. But yeah, he needed help like a long time ago.
Assures them he's going to get out.
Just all my folks will come get me out.
Well, we don't know your name, so.
Exactly, but my folks will be there to get me out.
Who's your folks? I know who you're gonna.
Don't worry about it.
He still refuses to tell them who he is. But it doesn't matter.
That's why he won't
The
tell them,
investigators from
stupid.
Alton come to arrest him on suspicion of Lisa's murder. They carry out a warrant for DNA, fingerprints, and other samples. And at around midday the next day, June 10th, nearly 24 hours since the discovery of Lisa's body, the investigators sit down with DeAndre for an interview. But DeAndre's not talking.
Here it goes, guys. Here we go.
He refuses to give them any information, even his name, which they already know.
Right.
He just keeps saying he wants to go to work, though it's not clear if he's actually employed.
He
He
wants to
also
go to
says
work.
he's dissociated,
Nigga,
and that he's
you
once been
wasn't-
prescribed.
You wasn't working? Your girl was working, the one you took out of here, the one that you took a car. That one. You didn't have no car, you wasn't working. So you want to go to work now. You finna go to work. You finna be working in that jail, in that prison, that's what you finna be working. Somebody gonna be working you. Yeah, this nigga right here, man, he the type nigga, he gonna throw shit on the jail. He gonna throw shit and piss on the CO. This nigga right here got to stay locked down 24/7. Yeah, 23-1.
Prescribed medication by a doctor. After this, he asks for his lawyer, and the investigators comply.
Boy, you should have
terminating
been
the
at.
interview.
You should have been at.
On
for
June
him.
13th, DeAndre is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of intentional homicide of an unborn child, a human body, offenses relating to motor vehicles, and concealment of homicidal death. Bond is set at $2 million.
Damn.
The case leads to a lot of local emotion.
So in that last case, one about the news anchor, hers at $2 million, and I was saying all that stuff. See, I don't know what I'm talking about. They said this nigga bonded $2 million. They said your shit at $2 million. They make sure your ass, and you know they know who you like him. Your shit at $2 million. Like they said my bond at $2 million. They know my ass ain't getting up out of there. No, man. I ain't getting no bond. My bond said at $2 million. You might as well just say no bond. And I ain't never made $2 million in my life. That nigga he ain't even worth $2 million. Nothing about him. He ain't even got a $2 million idea. It's free to have an idea. It could be worth something. It could be worth $2 million, but it's free to think of it. He ain't even got a $2 million idea. Yeah, they really sure that he gonna stay on there through the whole stretch, all the way to his trial.
Including from the police chief.
What happened to 22-year-old Lisa Dodd, which
Officer Polito. Now you believe this, guys? I'm familiar with this officer. This is the same officer that handled my case, my self-defense, when I had to stab some cats in Alton at one point. I got off on self-defense. He used to be, Officer Polito. That guy. Yeah.
just moved to this place in Alton is beyond irreverential. It is completely terrible what happened to her. Her unborn child was also killed as a result of this.
DeAndre's family, however, entreat the public to take the nuances of his circumstances into account. His stepfather, Chris Hawk, takes to YouTube to talk about it on June 16th.
I never thought I would be recording a video like this. First of all, I want to offer my condolences to the Dodd family. I cannot imagine what you must be going through. I'm not going to deny that what happened was an extreme act of evil. It was. I don't know how else to explain it. It was an act of evil. I don't know if there's a word that describes it. And
evil.
Over here,
it's
we
definitely
are ashamed.
Wasn't
His mom, his sister, were all shocked. We knew he was capable of violence, but we never saw this. We've been trying to get help for him for at least 3 years. But as far as longer term mental care, we were always told that we can't hold them unless they've done something.
Well, we definitely can hold him. Because he definitely done something. And that's what they had to wait for him to do.
He doesn't deny the horror of what DeAndre's done, but he attributes DeAndre's actions to his mental state, something his family has been trying to do something about for years. But he says the system wouldn't let them.
Our system fails people with mental problems. I've grown up in an environment with mental problems. And people are kind of left on their own. It's a tragic situation. This is the D that we knew. They're old pictures, but they show that there's a human there. The human does exist. He's not a monster. What he did was monstrous. He's not a monster. I'm not advocating that DeAndre should ever be allowed to enter civilized society again. I mean, he's obviously crossed the line there. I'm not advocating anything like that. I'm just saying there's a human being here, and it's tragic. It's tragic what mental illness has done to him.
These are the early days of the case, when DeAndre's only just been charged, and he's not doing well in jail. He's been refusing to come out of his cell and making threats to corrections officers. These included saying, "I will cut off your head." He refuses to attend his virtual court appointment on June 14th, and officers forcibly restrain him to bring him to court. These issues remain in his case. He's found mentally unfit to stand trial and undergoes treatment at a state institution until he regains competency to face the charges. At the same time, The Illinois Supreme Court rules that an unborn child cannot be considered a second murder victim for the purpose of seeking a life sentence. This impacts the sentence that can be sought in DeAndre's case. But in January 2024, he enters a guilty plea. On January 17, 2025, he is sentenced to 60 years in prison. This includes 30 years on the murder charge, 20 on the homicide charge, and 10 on the concealment charge to be served consecutively. He'll have to serve at least 52 years before he's eligible to be released.
Wow.
There remain no real answers as to why he killed Lisa, though there's plenty of speculation out there. Jealous that she was having another man's baby, snapping under the stress of a failing relationship, or just finally going too far in a continued pattern of violence. We'll never know the truth. Lisa's family, meanwhile, continues to mourn.
We're here to announce that DeAndre Holloway was convicted and sentenced in the murder of Lisa Dodd and her unborn child today to 60 years in prison. And I want to introduce Heidi, Lisa's mother and grandmother of the unborn daughter, to give a few words reflecting on today's verdict and sentence.
I would like to thank the many law enforcement agencies that collaborated on my daughter's case. A special thank you to Officer Wimmersberg of the Alton Police Department for his excellent work on this case. I am forever grateful for your time and wisdom.
This is a tragic outcome of a 2-year on and off again domestic violence relationship. This didn't have to end this way. My daughter should be here raising her toddler
instead of being a casualty of domestic violence. If you have a mental instability or mental illness, seek treatment and be consistent with your treatment. Understand that your condition or illness will not keep you from being held accountable for the crimes you commit. If you are in a domestic violence relationship, if someone is emotionally, mentally, or physically abusing you, make a safe plan to leave that relationship. If they continually disrespect your boundaries, make demeaning comments, and control your every movement, this is abuse. Find the resolve to leave that relationship. If someone threatens to end your life, believe them. If they can say it, think it, and talk about it, they can carry out the threat. Reach out to your local, regional, or national resources that are available to assist you in making a safe plan to leave. Your life depends on it. It isn't easy, and it may be one of the hardest things you do, but your life is important, and you are worthy and deserve a life free from abuse.
I want to say that you don't often see the kind of strength that the family of Lisa has exhibited in this case. Incredible strength, incredible grace in the courtroom today with her statements to the defendant who took the life of her daughter and granddaughter, and who over years, as she said, had abused them, and is now going to face decades in prison for the crime of murder for 2 lives, not just one, the mother and the unborn child. And I just want to commend the family to say that it's very inspirational to see the kind of strength that you've shown, and I'm sure that everyone in the courtroom experienced the same thing. I also want to say this. Wow. This case has a deep meaning, I think, to every mother. And there were
Keep
in this case related to the unborn child who died that were extremely moving. One in which, Lisa's last act, her hand was resting on a book about pregnancy. So her last thought was probably about her unborn child. And so there's a beauty there in those last moments. And I think that she's with us now.
Her mom wrote to their GoFundMe page, "This sentence brings some resolution to a heinous crime. No sentence or amount of time will bring my daughter or granddaughter back, but this sentence should ensure he's not able to hurt anyone else."
Right.
As I mentioned in the previous update, any donations received will be donated to our local domestic violence resource. The GoFundMe has made $16,000 so far. And as we end this story, we leave you with a poem Lisa once shared on her Facebook page.
After a while, you learn the subtle difference.
between holding a hand and chaining a soul. And you learn that love doesn't mean leaning, and company doesn't mean security. And you begin to learn that kisses aren't contracts, and presents aren't promises. And you begin to accept your defeats with your head up and your eyes open, with the grace of a woman, not the grief of a child. And you learn to build all your roads on today, because tomorrow's ground is too uncertain for plans, and futures have a way of falling down in mid-flight. After a while, you learn that even sunshine burns if you get too much, so you plant your own garden and decorate your own soul, instead of waiting for someone to bring you flowers. And you learn that you really can endure, that you really are strong, and you really do have worth. And you learn and learn. With every goodbye, you learn. The end.
Well, guys, that was the story of, man, I had heard about this. That's a summary of that. Yeah, definitely look out for the signs. If you're in a relationship when it's like that, before it gets too bad, out of hand, because for both. Yeah, definitely leave that alone. RP to her. And yeah, this has been late night shenanigans. I'm about to hit the goddamn, yeah. I'm out like a light, yeah. No. Till tomorrow. Stephanie S. Late Night Shenanigans. Please like and subscribe. All that stuff like that. I'm trying to shake the algorithms, you know what I'm saying? I need more followers. So please follow. And yeah. Good night, everybody.